There you are.
Fancy a bit of night air, did you? A pity the rain is going to spoil it soon. Oh? I stand corrected. Not so much pity then. Why, yes. I am in a good mood. A bit bittersweet. But it is a good mood nonetheless. And it is in this mood that I have a question for you, Arcanist. Do you drink? And if so, would you be willing to share a drink with me? Don't look at me like that. It's a good bottle, and it's just for this evening. Besides, I have good news for you. You're going to be rid of this fortress in a few weeks. So come back from the balcony and sit with me, won't you? Yes, that's right. I need assistance with stabilizing the new territory that we've captured. I've been receiving updates on that front from the general. I have that are alive, and they tell me it might be a little more difficult than expecting on their own. It seems that the newly crowned king inspired more loyalty in my countrymen than the last. It's a good idea for me to inspect my new acquisitions anyway. Well, naturally. You are far from secure in this fortress than out there among other people, or God forbid, on a battlefield. But every time I've left to tend to my kingdom's expansion, you seem to see it as the perfect time for you to make an escape attempt. And I will be gone on this particular trip for quite a while. So I have decided it will be better to keep you with me this time. I'll just have to be very, very careful with you. Although, I'm not all that worried. I think you know well enough by now what I'll do to you if I catch you trying to leave me again. Well, how about it? Do you think you'll be able to keep from running? Let's hope you're being truthful. As to how long we'll be gone, that's... It will probably take a few months at least to sort everything out. I can't imagine any less than that. I have a lot of ground to cover. Our little army of the living dead has been very useful in overwhelming the opposition. Not to mention how it's cut down on casualties on my side at least. But I don't know if we'll be heading back here once we're done. It's a fine territory, but I don't intend this fairy valley to be our base of operation forever. Actually, I've heard reports that the capital will fall to my army soon. Once it is firmly under my control, I would love to take you to view it in person. I really think you'd enjoy getting to see a city that ancient. As for me, it would be quite nostalgic to take up residence in the palace again. Good. I am glad you like the idea. Grab a glass. I'll do the honors. You haven't told me your drinking preferences. So, I picked something nice from your homeland to be safe. I'm not very picky about what I drink personally. Why don't you have a sip? Do you like it? Then I choose well. Yes. It's strong, but it's got a pleasant aroma. Richer vintage have a bit of a comforting quality to them. I almost wish I had gone more than the one bottle. You know, it's been a while since I visited you in your own chambers. You certainly went to work on it. Not to criticize, but if you wanted more surface to write on, you could have, well, have asked, and I would have provided them. If you scroll any more magic symbols on the walls, someone's going to think you're making your room into an overly complicated death trap. I hear that the maids are already afraid to set foot in here. No, it's fine. I'm not going to stop you from doing your pet projects. I just think it's a bit amusing. The need to write was just too urgent, You do seem to write like you're making up for lost time, and I imagine that your desire to design spell must be even stronger with all the magic in this fortress. Especially with that new eye, you would be able to see it even more clearly than before. Which, by the way, I don't recall ever hearing you thanking me for that. That was so cold and not very sincere of you. Care to try that again? Thank me. See? That wasn't so hard. I still think that eye looks fetching on you. I really do. It shines like a light when you become passionate about something. And to say nothing of the way it sparkles when you get angry or afraid, it suits your full range of emotions. Really. It's just a shame that you hate it so much. It's like a mark I've put on you, a permanent reminder of me. Oh, come to think of it, that's probably why you hate it, isn't it? But it didn't come up here to antagonize you. You've been too well behaved for that. I actually had something else And there goes the weather. Such a downpour, too. It looks like this whole valley will be drenched before too long. If you must know, I'm not terribly fond of the rain. Chalk it up to the regional differences. Rain always led to flooding where I grew up, and flooding can kill after long enough. If not people, then plenty of plants and animals. I'm sure if you have somewhere safe and dry to wait it out, it doesn't mean much. No, it's probably not raining in Oak Reach. If it is, it would be from an entirely different system of clouds. Feeling a bit homesick, are we? Me? No. I don't want my old home back at all. Obviously, unlike you, I left it of my own accord. I can't even say that there's anyone from Cord that I want to see again, since all of the people I got along with came with me when I went rogue. I don't miss those days. I never got anything done. I was just a means to someone else's amusement, leaving no impact on the world, beyond some frightened glares and hushed rumors. Even my experiments were kept hidden from the general public. His Majesty cared more about his luxury than acting on any worldly ambitions. Tell me, did you not feel like you were in a rut before? You expended your knowledge, but you were unable to put it to real use. Unable to really change things in the world. You were only ever chipping away at people's stubborn minds. And even then, it was only the people's literate enough to read your work in the first place. Which wasn't many. That isn't meant to insult you, but rather other human beings. I grant you, this is obviously not what you wanted to do with your life, but I can't fathom that was... No. I suppose I won't understand. Huh. Right? That's right. I got interrupted by the storm. I actually came up here to give you something, in anticipation of our leaving. Now, I put it down somewhere around here. Ah, right. Here it is. Here. Take it. Go on. It's not going to bite. What do you make of it? Yes, it's a mask. I got it on my last excursion out of here. Try it on. It should fit you just fine. And if not, I can always adjust it. It's not that I very much care to have you cover up your face, mind you. But you act so self-conscious about being seen even by the staff in this fortress. I thought you might desire something like this when we're actually out and around the public. In this way, while it's unlikely anyone in this country will recognize you, now we can both be sure of it. Well, would you look at that? It suits you just fine. In fact, I like how unapproachable it makes you to have your face covered like that. Nobody other than me should be approaching you. Is it comfortable? Can you see all right? Good. You may take it off now, if you wish. Well, you are welcome. Ah, listen to that. I hope the rain isn't bothersome to the horde. The water probably isn't going to do wonders for the smell of the rot on them. Yes, you have a point. They can't see well with their eyes anyway. Oh, it will feel so good once the capital is mine. I'm so close to having this entire country. So close to finishing the first step in my conquests. It's so delicious. Like this wine. Oh, you look so guilty whenever I talk about that. It doesn't have to be like this, you know. You don't have to feel ashamed of yourself all the time. I promise that I will be no worse a ruler than any king that has come before me. And even the wisest king had to subject his people to hardships sometimes. So instead of wallowing, why don't you work with me to make their suffering as brief as possible? Or, well, look at what you're trying to do with our pet project here. I have a wealth of resource. Imagine what you could accomplish if you worked with me more willingly. I have news for you, Arcanist. No one is watching you anymore. No one who cares can see your little demonstration of good and bad. No one here even knows you except for me. So why keep it up? Why don't you just enjoy yourself? You've done so much good for me. You could do so much good for my kingdom. Why keep making yourself miserable? I would be so happy if you came around to my way of thinking. I would reward you so much better than with just this trinket and bottle of wine. Right now, I am the one who took everything away from you. But I could give you everything. All you have to do is let it go. I didn't mean literally. Going back to the third monster, are we? That's such a pity. I guess I need to work on my pitch. Still, we are only responsible for our own emotional well-being. You can keep being an unwilling passenger if that's what satisfies you. I can have just as much fun watching you squirm. But I'll stop tormenting you for tonight. Maybe you'll think a little harder about this when you're alone. Good night, Arcanist. I hope you have pleasant dreams and enjoy the gift. I expect you'll want to make good use of it soon. We'll be leaving before you know it.